Okay, so we will go now slide by slide. First, I want to tell something about myself, okay? Who am I and how I got this knowledge and from where I come from. So my name is Rafał Gendash, and I'm doing this astrology from 2004. I started to going really deep into that. Around 2006, 2005, I get in touch with, through internet, through internet forums, I get in touch with Sri Jagannath Center. It was called at that time. Now this organization has many names, many branches, but this is coming from Sri Achyutananda tradition, from Sanjay Rath. Perhaps you know Sanjay Rath. He's quite well known. And specifically, when I was present in that forum, there were many posts by Narasimha Rao, by Sanjay Rath, and the one person who I felt very attracted to, Visti Larsen. He was at the time also a very active student. And then I started becoming, I became his student from the time. And from that time, I'm learning and studying all the time astrology with Visti Larsen. So Visti Larsen is my teacher, and I finished the Jaimini Sutra course with my Guruji Visti Larsen, and also the Parashara course, online Parashara course with Sanjay Rath. So these are my, we could say, educational background. And I also, for many, many years, was present in that forums related to Sri Jagannath Center, and also was educating and learning myself on the time. And also during around since 2009, 2010, so after around 5 years, I also started offering my consultations to clients. And so I not only on this theoretical level, but also I did a lot of charts, and now I have like every day the reading. So it's also, I have a lot of practice when it comes to Vedic astrology. When it comes to my background, educational background, aside from astrology, so I graduated in philosophy. I studied 5 years, and I have masters in philosophy. I studied that in Poland. I come from Poland, and I came to Berlin with my friend in 2011. So I'm living now in Berlin, Germany since 10 years, we could say. So that is my background, and we can go straight. I think I said everything I wanted when it comes to that. Yes. Okay, so the next slide, let me see. Okay, the next slide is about donations. So if you want, if you feel that you benefited from that lecture, you can send me some donation afterwards. It's very easy. You can use the link here, PayPal me, and slash Rafał108. You can use that link here. And also, if you have the bank account, if you don't have PayPal, you can use my bank account, which is on my website, rohinaa.com. You can go there and take my bank account. Also, if you like, and if you don't know yet, I have also my YouTube channel where I also regularly do the present my videos. So you can also subscribe to that YouTube channel. Okay, the next first thing, which is quite important, and many people were asking about, is about that situation about the COVID-19. So this is first thing to give some timelines, because I think that's most important. And I am here following what our teachers, Sanjay Rath and what Visti Larsen has said about that, because I have nothing to add. These yogas related to that pandemia is the Saturn and Mars, and also there is something which is called sickle yoga. So this is when the malefics are forming some yoga between each other. But Saturn and Mars are called Yama yoga. Yama means death. So basically, when that Yama yoga and Jupiter, which is the Jiva Karaka, the significator of life, when now Jupiter has joined that Saturn and Mars. So now we are in the full, we could say, full pandemia. So today today Sanjay Rath also uploaded the video about this COVID-19, and according to his estimation, from the 4th May, it should get better. So since now till 4th May, we are still in that, we could say, climax of the pandemia. So this is something there to know. And from May till August, it will be going on. It will be better and better. So now, here we also, previously Sanjay Rath also published the note, which I shared on Instagram. And he said that between 15 and 29 March 2020, there will be some scientific research, and there could be some findings. And that was true, because from what we hear here in Germany, they are already having some kind of vaccine which are testing, and there are some predictions that the vaccine will be available on the autumn this year. So that was on spot. And also we have here, Sanjay Rath said that on 30 March, so now the Jupiter moved to Capricorn, and based on that, we also is joined the Yama Yoga now. So now is the problematic period. And let me go back one more. And then also, Vis Larsen said that on 19 June, Mars will enter Pisces. So that will end also some kind of health crisis to some extent. So we have like a few steps. The next step will be the 19 June, when the numbers should go down. I must say that I'm very happy now, because I think from a few days I have seen that in Spain, Italy, Germany, and Poland, the numbers of new infected people are going down. So that is something which is great, because we can look optimistically at that. Like similarly in China, we see that there's a big drop down. Like now it's like 40 to 90 people, less than 100 every day. So it is now very low in comparison to what was before. So this is what I prepared for you to that COVID-19. I don't have any other information. I'm just sharing you what I also have from our gurus. And there are no opinions on that, so there is no place to give some original content to that. So I hope that answers the question. Okay, now the next slide is about the differences, right? This is, now we are going straight to Jyotish. And this slide, this part of this webinar, here I will try to explain to you what are the big differences from between Western and Vedic astrology, because I think that maybe some of you are coming also from the Western astrology background. Normally that means the Greek astrology. I am in that part also, because I started with Western astrology, then I went to a Vedic. So that is, maybe some of you, there is some interest to that. Okay, so I would say that first of all, there are some philosophical, I divided that answer to two parts. One part is the philosophical difference, and then the second part is something which I call the technical difference. So the philosophical difference is that, at least nowadays, the Western astrology went very much into that humanistic and psychological approach. This means that there is this approach assumes that the chart shows your psychological potential. It shows your subjectivity, how you see the reality. Okay, and still you have a lot of free will, and the astrology can I think that many of you have seen on the websites of Western astrology people, that they say that we can increase your potential, we can increase your strength. So basically it's all about you. It's even if there is events are going on, these events are basically only from the perspective of subjective person. So how you experience there, okay? So, but the Vedic tradition, the Indian tradition, and also here someone can say, but it was not always like that. Even in Greek tradition, there is something like event-based astrology, event-based. So we could say there is psychology-based astrology and event-based, okay? So in Greek, that's true. In the beginning, the astrology was more event-based, but now it changed a little bit to, or not a little bit, fully it changed to that psychological, humanistic astrology, they say. And that has real philosophical differences, because it changes the theory, the assumption, the philosophy of astrology. What is really going on? What the planets are showing? Are they controlling only the human psyche, our psychology, or it is also more deterministic? It is showing how many kids you will have, how many wives you will have, how many spouses, pets, and work, jobs, diseases. No? This is not only then subjective, but this becomes now very objective. And I must say that this trend of going from event astrology to psychology-based astrology is also, or subjective astrology, humanistic astrology is also can be traced in psychology. Because in psychology also, in the beginning of psychology, it was more about the metaphysics, about the entities which are not only in the mind, but there were somehow also in the world. For example, you can read about Jung and archetypes. So he was saying that there is something which is outside the subjective experience. And similarly, you can also Google. There is a very nice psychologist which is inspiring me a lot. He's called Hillman, and this guy, he is very much into how the psychological processes, the psychological patterns, how they are really inspired and motivated by some metaphysical beings like deities, for example. Okay, so now that kind of psychology, it is very close to astrology, to Vedic astrology, to astrology which is based on that metaphysics, which mean astrology based on a real, that there is something outside our psyche which is controlling the world, right? So this is big difference. So I would compare this to approach, these two kind of approaches, to sun and the moon, because hello Gaurav, I have to mute you for a second. Okay. So I would compare it to sun and the moon. This is my understanding. The Western astrology, now the humanistic psychology astrology, is more about the moon, because the moon shows, it gives you a hope, it gives you healing, it gives you a solace, right? It makes you brings you relief. It says, okay, you are like that, try to do this way, try to do that way, and eventually it will be better or worse, or so it's very psychological based, like a moon. But Vedic astrology, it's like the sun. Okay, it's like more like a father who sometimes is harsh. Sometimes the Vedic astrology readings, they may be a little bit harsh, they are maybe not so easy to digest. Because the life is like that. It's like a father. The father prepares you to life, because the role of astrology, the word Jyotisha means giving the light. So bringing people to the light. Sometimes the light is on the first sight not so nice. For example, the astrological chart may show that you will be ailing. Okay, so if that's the fact, if the karma is like that you will be ailing, then you need to say that. You need to basically try to say that to the client, but then you can provide the remedies. Okay, So I wrote here something about dialectics of happiness. So this dialectics, this is about the Hegel, the philosopher, German philosopher Hegel. He said that there is a thesis and antithesis. So there is like dialectics of happiness, because first there is some wrong information that you have disease, for example, or in your relationship there is a very big problem which may lead to divorce. This is something unhappy. This is some giving information about sorrow, right? But if you know that, if you know the fact, then you can repair that. You can work on that. You can then work on real happiness. Okay, you can prepare to that, and then you can bring the real happiness. Whilst if you cheat yourself, and if you are not open to the raw truth, the raw fact, then you cannot heal that, because you are cheating yourself. Okay, so therefore this Vedic astrology is a little bit more like a son, like a father who is sometimes bringing the information in the raw in the raw form. Okay, so that is from the philosophical point of view. Now I've brought in the next slide, I brought some technicalities about these Vedic astrology and Indian astrology. Sorry, Western astrology and Indian astrology. Okay, so the first big difference is about the chart itself. If you will create your birth details, your birth chart, then you will see that there is a difference of 24 degrees. Okay, so for example, my ascendant in Western astrology is Cancer. Okay, but my Vedic astrology ascendant is Gemini. So ascendant is the first house, will be 24 degrees, around 24. This is called Ayanamsha, the difference between sidereal zodiac and tropical zodiac. So the difference now is 23 degrees. This difference is going bigger and bigger. It increases. Okay, and this is called the Ayanamsha. This is the difference between tropical and sidereal zodiac. So Vedic astrologers, the Indian astrologers, they are using sidereal zodiac. Okay, so this is called Niryana Ayanamsha. And this means that we are basing the chart based on the position of stars. Okay, not in the tropical zodiac, which the Western astrologers use. They are basing their zodiac on equinoxes. When there is a day, when the day and night is the same, like it was 20 March and it is 23rd September. Okay, so then the Aries starts. But we are basing our zodiac based on the stars. We are taking the star which is called Spica in Libra. This is beginning of Swati Nakshatra, and 180 degrees to that there is a beginning of Aries. So this is the first thing. The zodiac is different. So it is a big difference because the chart will be different. Okay, you will have, for example, in Western astrology, I have Moon in Aquarius, whilst in the Indian astrology, in the Vedic astrology, I have Moon in Capricorn in 8th house. In Western astrology, I have Moon in Aquarius in the 9th house. So there is a difference. Okay, so the zodiac is different. You will have different chart. So that is also a good adventure. Okay. Then there is something which is called Panchanga. This is great. The Panchanga is a quality of time, and this is we use that when we interpret the chart. Basically, it means that it is the time in which you are born. Okay, Vara means day, in which day you are born, and this planet which shows your day, it will show your energy in your birth chart. For example, I was born on Monday, so this is Moon. So the position of the Moon in my chart will show what is my energy. Okay, so this Panchanga, this may be used also in the Western tradition to some extent, but they don't have Titi, they don't have Karana, they don't have Nakshatra. In Indian astrology, we are using that a lot. For example, the Titi is showing emotions. Okay, if you are born in a 4th, 9th, or 14th Titi, the Chaturthi, Navami, or Chaturdashi Tithi, then you may have problems with exhibiting emotions. You may be a little bit narcissistic, okay? Now, based on the position of the moon, this will show where this quality is excelled, where this is experienced. So we have Tithi, we have a Karana. Karana is also the half of the Tithi. And this Karana shows our wealth, work, and education. We can see that planet, which is showing our Karana in our birth chart. So this Panchanga, especially, this is also something not all astrologers are using, not all Vedic astrologers are using. This is very, I would say, very important in our tradition, in Sri Jagannath Center tradition, okay? We are using that all the time in the readings. This is very great because it gives you that, that first understanding of your chart. Where is the problem, okay? Because if you have energy level problems, if your Vara is afflicted, then you have the impulse, you have the signal to check your health, right? If your energy is not good, then maybe something with health is there causing that problem, okay? Similarly with the moon, with the Tithi, if the Tithi is problematic, there is some emotional problem. Does it mean that there is relationship problem also? Okay, so that is giving you additional thing. Now we have the nakshatra system, which is different. Okay, I mean, this is not different. This is something new for Western astrologers. Okay, so nakshatra means the star, and we have a 27 or 28 nakshatra depending on the system we use. Okay, and they are lorded by planets in the order of Vimshotri Dasha, or rather Vimshotri Dasha, the planetary period system, is based on the order of nakshatra. So we have Ketu, which is Ashvini, for example, Venus, which is Bharani, Sun, which is Kritika, then we have Moon, Rohinaa, then we have Mrigashira, Mars, then we have Rahu, Ardra, Punarvasu, Jupiter, Saturn is Pushya, and then Mercury is the end, as Ashlesha, right? And so on. We are going in that order, Ketu, Venus, Sun, and so on. And this nakshatra, what they show, because that was also one answer, one question on the Instagram, what they show basically your mind experience of events, how your mind and prana, these two things are very much shown by the nakshatra. Why prana? Because every of these panchanga levels, this is loaded by some tattva. So Vara is loaded by Agni, Tithi is loaded by Jala, Karana is loaded by Prithvi, by earth, and Yoga is Akasha, ether, and Nakshatra is Vayu. It is the air, okay? So then we have the Nakshatra system. Then the big difference, something which is absolutely a banger, absolutely something which is so crucial. It is so crucial that the Sharavari says, the author of the big astrological text, Kalya Virma, he said that you cannot do even one step into astrological reading without seeing the Vargas. These are the divisional charts, okay? So this is, I would say, where the real secret, the real thing of Vedic astrology happens. This is in that Vargas. Because if you have a Varga, then you open your analysis, your astrological analysis, to so many details. You can, for example, open the chart of your career life and you can see your world career life. You can see the jobs, the relationship with boss, with your workers, with your office, everything, okay? If you don't have Vargas, if you don't have this divisional charts, then you are not able to see many things. You are not able to see what, for example, you have problems in fourth house in the Rasi chart, in that main chart, right? What does it mean? Is it a problem for car, for mother, for education? Many things can be there, right? So if you don't use that divisional chart, it becomes quite hard to understand what's going on. Then we have dashas. This is something also only specific in Vedic astrology. Dashas means the planetary periods. Like, for example, you can see here in that chart, here we have Mars, Mercury, Mars, Ketu, Mars, Venus. So this is how we advance with time. Also, the planetary order will change, okay? And this is great. This is great because if you don't have that in Western astrology, they are focusing on transits, on progressions, of course, on they also have other things which are also in Vedic astrology, but this dasha system, this is just great. This is absolutely brilliant. This is fabulous because you can just take the planet which is loading the period, for example, here from 3 years of age to 5, here is Rahu. You can just take that Rahu and you can see that what's going on in the chart, and you will exactly know what's going on in that period. Okay, so with transits, you are still very vague when it comes to the effects. But with the dashas, if you combine dashas and transits and many dashas, because there are also many systems of dashas, then it becomes quite strong point to predict things, the future. Okay, then we have something additional points, yogas, charakaraka, aruda, varnada, vishesha lagna. This is great because this is giving you additional levels to your interpretation. For example, yogas. Yogas mean that two planets, they can form some relationship between them, and this relationship will increase your interpretation. For example, if you have Jupiter in 7th house in the Navamsha, it may just show that your spouse will be, for example, lucky or knowledgeable or very moral, ethically well equipped. He may be fair complexion, optimistic, and all that. But if it's Jupiter and Rahu, if Rahu is aspecting that Jupiter, then it is Guru Droha yoga, right? Or Nirriti yoga. This is different yoga. Then it shows that the partner suddenly becomes the partner can be very philosophical. So it will have that Jupiter aspect, but the peace will go away. With Jupiter and Rahu, you don't have peace. So Jupiter alone brings a lot of peace. But Jupiter and Rahu, that peace go away. So your partner is not peaceful. It's rather quite fearful, okay? Or anxious. Anxious would be the best word. So that is then you have Charakaraka, Aruda, Varnada. So these are basically additional points in the chart which you can use, and that will give you additional interpretation. And of course, the best thing, remedies, right? Because till that 6th point, we are not changing anything, right? We are not changing. We are just getting information, okay? Like one philosopher said, that everyone till me, every philosopher till me was only describing the reality, but the point is to change it, right? So also here in astrology, till 6, we are in that ontological phase, we could call it, ontological phase of astrology. So it is like, what is going on? It's like diagnosis, we could say. But the point 7 is a cure, right? It's a normative. It's something we should do, ought to do. These are the advices, remedies, and these remedies are mechanical. These are like just advices. You should not go there, or you should rather do this or not do this. And also the metaphysical upaya. Upaya means remedy. So this would be yantra, mantra, and tantra. Okay, so that's great because that can show that you can, if you have a bad yoga in the chart, you have, let's say, Rahu in the 9th house, you can wear yellow sapphire. Okay, if you have Saturn in the 9th house, you can wear ruby, and you can do Devi mantra. You can do mantra for Durga, for example, like I'm Hrim Klim Chamundaye Vichai, any Om Durga Yai Namah, any Durga mantra starting on Friday. If you have Saturn in 9th house, because the moon needs to be then brought up. Okay. For Mars, you can do a Venus mantra. You can do Om Lakshmi Namah or any Lakshmi related remedy and so on. So that's how you can change the bad yogas in your chart. That's fantastic. Okay, so that are the differences. Let's go further. If you have any questions to that, then you can speak or write. Or any comments. Yeah, okay, let's go further. I hope you're enjoying that as much as I. Okay, so the next slide is the elements in the chart. Okay, so that was the yeah, for Mars and ninth with gemstone, we can use basically the Venus gem. So when Mars is in ninth, you can basically try to remedy that with Venus. So Lakshmi, okay? Yeah. Okay. So now we will do a quick recap when it comes to charts, okay? If you want to later on join the course, because I will be also offering the course of Vedic Astrology, you can also write me an email if you are interested. Then we will go very slowly with all these details. You will get very comprehensive knowledge about that. But we will go now very quickly. So when it comes to chart elements, we have signs, yogas, and drishti. So we have 12 signs, okay? And planets are loaded that signs and also giving them strength. Then we have yogas. Yogas means relationship with the planets, okay? So there we have parivartana, yuti, and drishti. Parivartana means that two planets are exchanging their positions. For example, Mars is in the Venusian sign, Venus is in the Martial sign, okay? Let's say Mars is in Libra, Venus is in Scorpio. They are exchanging their signs. Yeah, and therefore they create very strong yoga. This is like 100% yoga, very strong. Okay. Then we have yuti. Yuti means being together, joint. So being in one house. This is also forming yoga. The drishti means aspect. One planet is in another house, but is having a relationship, sambandha, because of the aspect. Now that is drishti. Yeah. So let me see the next slide. Yeah, someone is asking, do Charakara Katva also changes? So I was taught no, not really. No, they are not changing. If your Atmakaraka is in Parivartana, it doesn't change the place from which you are, for example, counting your devatas, right? So 12th house from Atmakaraka is showing your Ishta Devata, the form of God, form of deity, the metaphysical part of absolute reality, which can really be responsible for your liberation. Very important form of reality or God, we could say, depending on where you stand philosophically. But if that Atmakaraka is exchanged, it doesn't change. It's still you are counting from the original Atmakaraka and you see the 12th house. The Parivartana, however, can show that there is a relationship between these planets still, okay? Good. Rupali is asking, in the chart means we are meant to go through suffering in our life. So yes, exactly. This is how this works. If there is a bad yoga, we are going through the suffering. Okay, there will be some challenge. There will be some suffering. If we do remedies to that, then we are repairing that. And the karma is of course changeable. Okay. Karma is changeable. That is the whole point of remedies. And the karma can be changed depending also on the sign, how easy, okay? If your yoga, if the bad yoga is in the movable sign, like Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, it's very easy to change. You see that in Rashi Navamsha. If that's in dual sign, it demands something more. It's in fixed, it's a little bit harder, okay? So you can use that sign also to know how easy it is to change the karma. So that's nice, but there's definitely to change. That is the whole point of knowing Jyotish, to understand your karma. Why I have health issues, relationship issues, career life issues. Understand what's going on. You can also see what in the past life. If you open Shastyamsa, you can see what you did in the past life, and then understand what's going on. What's going on, how to repair that, what you did, and so on. Okay, let's go further. Chart elements. Then this is very handy recap, I would say, because I collected here let me clear that. I connected here the lordship and also the planets which are doing the exaltation thing. Okay. Where I can annotate it here. How I could delay that. 1 second. Here, okay. Clear. Okay. So we are starting with Mars. So, and we will do that quickly, okay? Because I think it's not, I don't want to dwell into that. It's just like a recap. I assume, because it's hard for me to understand on which level of astrology you are. So this is only some recap, okay? I think you know that. From your questions, from the questions most of people are asking, I think we already have that, okay? at least my Instagram audience. So this is Mars is loading Aries and Scorpio, okay? And Mars is exalted in Capricorn, debilitated in Cancer. Exalted means planet is very strong. So Mars is very strong in Capricorn and it feels debilitated in Cancer. So this is, you can see in that table that Venus lords Taurus and Libra. This is lording, okay, that planet. So whichever house has Libra, for example, let's say in the 4th house you have Libra, then Venus will lord 4th house and also therefore will lord Libra. So therefore, if Libra is in 4th, will also lord the 4th house. Venus is exalted in Pisces, debilitated in Virgo. Mercury lords Gemini, Virgo, exalted also in Virgo, debilitated in Pisces. Moon lords Cancer and Taurus also, and exalted in Taurus, debilitated in Scorpio. Sun lords Leo, one sign. Sun likes to be alone, right? If you have Sun in Navamsha Lagna, you are loving privacy, okay? Sun is like loner. If you have Sun in 7th house in Navamsha, you may have spouse who is like that. Sun exalted in Aries, debilitated in Libra. Jupiter lords Sagittarius and Pisces, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer and debilitated in Capricorn, okay? Saturn lords Aquarius and Capricorn and is exalted in the Libra and debilitated in Aries. So you see, it's Sun and Saturn, they are exchanging their debilitation sign and exaltation sign, okay? Then we have Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is loading Virgo and Aquarius and gets exalted in Gemini and debilitated in Sagittarius. Ketu, Pisces and Scorpio, lording. Exalted in Sagittarius, debilitated in Gemini. When it comes to Rahu and Ketu, they are different versions for different things. This is most, which our school, our Parampara is using for most of things, because there is something like Ayus Ucha, which means that exaltation for longevity, for health aspects. Then Rahu is exalted in Taurus, debilitated in Scorpio. It's a little bit different. Also in astrological text of in Parashara or other texts, Horashara and so on, you will also see that the texts are giving different signs for Rahu and Ketu. So, but this is what we are using most of the time for the phala, for the effects, for the material effects, Rahu and Ketu, Gemini, Sagittarius. This is the axis of debilitation and exaltation. Now is, someone is asking if we need to remedy planets in Taurus sign, then do we have a choice to remedy either Moon or Venus? Yes, you can do that. If a Moon or a Venus are well placed, you can use that planet as the remedy. That's the first option of remedy. But the Moon or Venus has to be well placed, Kendra or Trikona. If not, then you can use the Karaka of that house. For example, if it's an 8, then you use the Saturn. Okay, now the Drishti. The Drishti means the aspect, okay? So what is the aspect of planets? So Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus aspects the 7th house from their position, okay? So always. There are also additional aspects. Mars aspects 4 and 8 from this position, Jupiter 5th and 9th, Saturn 3rd and 10, and Rahu 2nd, 5th and 9th. So this is how planets are aspecting each other. And this aspect, this is very important because we are using that for searching what is cursed. Where is the curse in the chart? The cursed means planet which is most afflicted and which is the source of all your suffering in your life. This is the curse. It's called Shapa. Okay. Like for example, in that sign here, let me try to draw something. Okay. Here you will see that Mercury here is with Ketu. So Ketu is one planet. And this is aspected by these three, the gang here, big gang. Okay. Mars, Saturn, Rahu. So big gang is afflicting that Mercury. So there is a curse of Mercury, okay? So this can bring some challenges to whatever Mercury is ruling. For example, here is 12 Lord. So this is related to marriage, okay? And this guy remarried the first girl. And he also had some allegation of rape, because this is a chart of maybe not rape, but it was some sexual assault. Okay, this is a chart of a guy who was fighting in the WWE, entertainment, okay, wrestling. So so that is how you can then start with that curse of the planet planet cursed, planet afflicted. The curse, the definition of the curse, the planet which is mostly afflicted, is that you need to more than one malefic having a yoga with the benefic, with the planet. Okay, like here we have Mercury, which is with Ketu, so it's one, and also aspecting by Saturn, Mars, and Rahu. So that is this. So we need, this is showing that you need to understand the aspects, okay? Because without that, without knowledge, which planets are aspecting what, you cannot ascertain where is the curse, what is the problem in the chart. Okay, well, let me go further. Now we are having planets, okay? So we are having a planet. We are on the slide 9 of 16, so we are like half away. I think it's good. It's a good time. So it will be like 90 minutes, as I predicted. Maybe you will have some more questions later on. Here we have the, I want to, here's the list of planets, what they are showing, right? So I think that this knowledge about the meaning, what the planets show, this is the mostly, this is something very much exploited by that new age astrological tradition now, or that people who are dealing with astrology in the pop way. Pop means very shallow, not going deep. So like sun shows this, moon, because that is very easy, you can use that, okay? So we have basically 9 planets. The word planet is also misguiding. This is called grahas, so the objects which have influence on us, because graha means eclipse. So these planets can eclipse our mind, but also eclipse the circumstances, right? Like we said in the beginning. So we have Sun, Moon, and Jupiter. I listed that in 3 categories of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And these are 3 gunas, right? 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So Sun, Moon, and Jupiter, they are in Sattva guna, okay? This means the Sun shows structure, father, resources, ego. Moon, mother, care, healing. Jupiter, knowledge, happiness, ethics. So I've tried to derive very root meanings of those planets. They are meaning much, much more. For example, Sun can also mean ruby, or Sun means also reading books, okay? Sun can mean also the king. But I tried to derive very abstract meaning from these planets. So this will apply to a big form of things, right? So yeah, then we have Rajas. Mercury is Jadatma. Jadatma means something which is dead, like material objects. This is like money. Mercury shows money, okay? And Venus shows Jivatma. Jivatma shows living beings. So this is also showing desire. Ihaloka Sukha means that Sharavali says that Venus controls the Ihaloka Sukha, which means the happiness we can gain in this world. So Jupiter is giving the Sukha, which is more internal, spiritual Sukha, or coming from Sattva. Sattva means you did something for a long time, right? Like studies. And then when you finish that study, you have that feeling of satisfaction. Oh, it's so great. This is like Sattva, like Jupiter. And Venus is more short-lasted happiness, right? Sensual happiness, we could say. Also coming from luxuries, from cars, also from traveling. This is Venus, okay? Now, the Tamas means the Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu. So this is showing the problematic. This is suffering, basically, okay? Different forms of suffering and enmity, obstacles, challenges in our life. So depending where these planets are, we can know where the suffering will come. But this is now a nice thing. Always, I mean, that depends also on your chart, on the type of curse you have. But mostly it's like that because of some rajas, you have some greed for something. You wanted to do something, and then the problem starts. So the rajasic planets are often showing what was the temptation which created the havoc. What is the cause of the problem? Okay. For example, if you have Venus in 1st or 5th, it means you are very romantic. Okay. And then if that Venus is cursed, it means that your whole problem in life started because you were romantic. Okay. you entered some relationship, and from that it was over. Okay. Similarly, if you see Mercury is cursed, you can see what started that. So this is like a starting point, like impulse, like trap. Where is the trap? Okay. Where is the cheese the mouse is trying to get? So this is Mercury, Venus. Because, for example, if you see crime of someone, then also the type of crime can be related to the Mercury, Venus, because it shows what you wanted to gain, right? Okay. We don't use trans-Saturnian planets, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. We don't use in traditional Vedic astrology. Some astrologers in India are using that. We are quite traditional. We are not using that because it will destroy the holistic approach, right? You need 12 signs, you need 9 planets to have 108, okay? You want to have that holistic, full, nicely working circle. You don't want, if you put like 13 planets, 13 signs, or if you take 10 planets, then it will be 130. It will destroy that number 108, which is important because if you have nakshatras, then you have 27 nakshatras. They are 4 padas, so they are also 108. Okay, so you want to play with that scheme where there is 108 because everything there, the philosophy, the remedies, the interpretation is working in that scheme, in that plan. So it is like the plan is like creation. It's not evolutionism but creationism, which means that this plan, how this works, was created, we could say, when the world started, right? The Jyotish, the astrology, was created in the start, and therefore this is the full plan. Whatever you will discover later, it will not influence that plan. That is we could say the approach. Okay, then we have Characarakas. This is quite interesting, and I already talked about that in the live session for a bit. This is basically showing the various plants can play a roles now. Okay, so there are plants which can play a role of being, for example, soul significator, like Atmakaraka. Which planet is showing your spirit, your soul? Okay, I have Jupiter at Makaraka, so I like to teach. Okay, Jupiter at Makaraka people also, they are having a lot of doubts. Okay, they need to gain more knowledge to be convinced on the same level like other people, and therefore it can create some good, knowledgeable people because they need to study more. Okay, so that is what is going on. Sorry for that. Then we have Amatya Karaka, which is work, Bratri Karaka guru, siblings, Matri Karaka is mother, Pitru Karaka is the father principles, Putra Karaka is child, Gnati Karaka community, Dara Karaka is spouse and wealth. Okay. Now a little bit about the houses, okay? That is quite important for you to understand because there were many questions related to houses, right? So when I read those questions, for example, I have Rahu Ketu in the first 7, what it means, okay? But the good thing is to give you something from which you will be able to derive those interpretations on your own, okay? If I will give you the meaning of the houses and the meaning of planets, you can also create your interpretation, at least at that basic level. Of course, there are many unexpected interpretations. For example, that guy, like you see here, we have that guy. This is funny. He has a moon in the 4th house, like Lagna Lord, okay? Later on, there will be a picture of that guy who is the wrestler. And he doesn't look like that. He doesn't look like moon in the 4th and Cancer Lagna, okay? He looks very like a warrior. But they say that moon in the 4th house brings the Hanuman, okay? Because it brings that Vayu energy, because the moon has Digbala there. And the moon is Vayu. It's in the position northeast, which is related, northwest, sorry, which is dedicated to a Vayu. And Vayu is a Hanuman. Okay, and Hanuman is a warrior. Okay, it has that Vayu potential. Okay, so therefore the moon in the 4th house can change. The interpretation may change based on this metaphysical connection to Devata. This is fantastic, but also crazy. Crazy because it's not crazy because you are entering now the little bit mystical world when characteristics of some devata are uh, influencing the linear interpretation of something, right? Like we could understand, okay, moon is emotion and so on. But if you say that the moon is Hanuman in the fourth and Hanuman was a warrior, therefore it shows a warrior, it becomes a little bit weird, at least to a Western people, but it works. This is the funny thing, that astrology, because astrology is Vedanga, it's spiritual, we could say, discipline. Vedanga means assisting Vedas. So because Jyotisha is Vedanga, Vedic astrology is Vedanga, it can bring you closer to spirituality. Because by practicing the astrology, you will see that, wow, this is working. There is some plan, and the devatas are working. The devatas are there. And so if the predictions are working, maybe my spiritual sadhana has sense. Okay, it's all related to something. So that is very interesting. So now we are going through houses. Okay. So the first house is called Ascendant, and it shows me, okay, me. Who am I? How is my computer working? The first is computer. Lagna Lord, the Ascendant Lord, is how I am using the computer. Seventh house is showing other people. Fourth house is the shelter. It means moon. I called it shelter, okay? I find it nice because if you combine mother, property, and car, education, house, right? What is that word which will imbibe all those things? It's like shelter, right? Fourth house is providing you that solace, right? That relief, all that. Because the Karaka is a moon. Karaka of the fourth house is moon. Now, 10th is the karma, which means the working, right? So these first, fourth, 7th, and 10th, these are, I would say, the central point of your chart. This is where you judge what's going on. Okay, if you have bad yoga, good yoga, and so on. The 5th and 9th is like a brake pedal and gas pedal. Okay, 5th and 9. How much fortune I have there? Okay, if these 5 and 9 are related to 4th, then the shelter may expand. Okay, but the fundamentals are first, 4, 7, and 10. Then there is a bad houses, 6, 8, and 12. Okay, they show enmity, disease, and loss. Okay, then we have planets like 12 and second is wealth, 11 is gain. So second is saving, 11 is gaining. Okay, and then we have third house as enterprise. So third house is enterprise, is Karaka, is Mars. Basically, it shows that whatever we cannot gain in the 11, we have to use the force to gain it. Therefore, this is Mars, enterprise in third house. So third, 6th, 11th, in Vedic astrology, they can create bad karma. So we don't like these houses. No? In Western astrology, 11 is very good. In Vedic astrology, 11 house is not good. It can bring you something nice for some time, and then it can bring you punishment. Therefore, 6 and 11, according to Jaimini Sutra, these houses are called Dandahara. So it is punishment. Okay. So 11 can punish. Okay, so that was the recap. I have to delete all these things. That was the recap about the houses, the planets, and the aspects, okay? And you can have, when I will upload this to YouTube, you can have these slides and you can understand, the basics, no? So this will, I would say that if you are not very handy with those things, like which planets are lording which signs and so on, then you are not cross the basic level of astrology. This is basics. This is the level 1. Okay, you need to understand how it's going on. Okay, now the examples. So do you have any questions till now? Can I unmute now everyone, or if you can, you can also write. Do you have, is that clear what I was saying? Okay, let me check here. Okay. Okay, so okay, thank you a lot, Aryan. Aryan. Okay, I hope that was nice. Shadbala, could you please give the example of punishment in 11th house? Okay, I have Sun and Mercury. Okay. Okay, I will do that. I'm just trying to find if there is option to unmute everyone and mute everyone, but I cannot see that here. Okay, so if you cannot speak or you want to speak, just first write on group chat, and then I will, if you want to speak, no? Then I will unmute you, so you will be able to speak. So, okay, yeah. The first question here was example of punishment in 11th house, if I have Sun and Mercury. Okay, so I was taught that every karaka which is in 11th house can be bad for you. Okay, so if you have, and I've seen example, I think I also gave an example of that on Instagram story. And that is that if you have Sun in 11, you can be punished by father, or you can be punished by government. Okay, so you need to check these planets further, how they are giving the indications. Like, for example, if 7th Lord also is in 11, you can be punished in the relationship. Okay. Also, the word denial, I've heard in our tradition, is sometimes used with connection to 11th house. Okay. So the 11th house is boga, which means a lot of enjoyment. Okay. So if you have, I think that worst scenario is when you have, for example, benefics, which are afflicted in 11th house. Then it means that you try to get something, you first enjoy it. For example, and it can be a little bit illegal because 11th house is the domain of Rahu. Okay, it's a badaka. I mean, natural badaka. It's domain of Rahu. So if you have there like Venus, Mercury, then you want to get some gain quickly. If you have malefics there, it may, and you have low morals, it can mean that you are going into some situation when you will be punished, or that boga will end. I have many examples of people who are having yogas in the 11th house. They were enjoying for some time, and they did something wrong, or just enjoyment ended. It's like 11th house works like a big package of nice things for some time. Okay, like if you have a yogas there, you may, for example, earn for some time only, not for a long time. Okay, like I have, for example, yoga, I have also 11th house, very active, and it's connected to my career life to a big extent. So I was advised to do courses for some time, and then I will not have the regular income like other people. So I need to prepare for times when I will not have income. Okay, this is how, if 11th house is good in your chart, you need to understand how it is working. It's working in that way. So if you have a bad yoga there, then it can really punish you. Okay, it can mean now you can, if you connect it to another point, then you may understand what kind of punishment is that. If that is Sun also in the 2nd from Arudha Lagna, or in 12th from Arudha Lagna, you can be punished by government, and you need to pay the price. You need to pay the fee, for example. Okay. Okay. No, Sun in 7th, it's not related to any devata. The Sun in 4th, for example, I mean, it can be related to a devata, to Bhaga Aditya, Sun in 7th, to Aditya. But Sun in a 4th means angry Indra. Sun in 10th means happy Indra with you. Okay, so how Indra is happy with you, it's Sun in 4 and 10. Okay, so if you have Sun and Mercury in 11, it means that you can earn from writing or from something like that. If you will not do any bad karma related to that, then it means that you will have just some periodical income from Sun and Mercury. Okay, but there is a tendency that that the person may cross that dharmic boundary, and then you can be punished. So that depends on other positions of your chart, how the other things are there. And see the Lord, for example, if you see Sun in 11, then see how the ninth Lord is placed. Because the Karaka is to be seen, right? If Sun is in the 11, then you can get punished by government or father. So see how is your ninth Lord to understand more. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. 12th house and marriage. Okay. Yeah, 11 Lord and 6. This is now two houses which are related to a punishment, right? So in good way, this can mean gaining from enemies. So if you are law enforcement, if you are working in law enforcement or something like that, that can be good. If not, then it can be a trouble, right? Then you may do mantras for, like, for example, Om Haraya Namah for Shiva. Om Haraya Namah, very good for 6th house, because 11th Lord is became like a Rudra. Okay, so mantra for Rudras are good, because 11th Lord in the 6th, I was taught that this is like putting the Shiva on a frying pan. Okay, it's too much. It's like exploding. It can be dangerous. Okay, so you need to pacify Shiva. So it's good to do a Shiva mantras with that combination, 11th Lord and 6th, because it shows that, first of all, there can be, depending on the yoga, depending on the planets, that will basically happen. Yeah, Tanu, Tanadan, Dahara, exactly. Yeah, ninth Lord in the 2nd house is called, because the finances are something which can end. Okay, this is the problems. You cannot enjoy the finances forever. Okay, it will always end. And because it's Rahu domain, because it's Aquarius, 11th house is natural Aquarius, and this is Rahu domain, there is a problem. So on one hand, it gives you that enjoyment, but this is the dilemma, that the enjoyment in this material world is it's a problem. So therefore, 11th Lord in 2nd gives Dana Yoga because it gives you wealth, but also the 11th Lord brings problem. Okay, but yes, this is connection of 2nd, 9th, and 11th to each other brings Dana Yoga. Yep. Okay, let us go farther. I think we have also a question here from 9th Lord, from Angelina, 9th Lord in the 1st house. Yeah, this is creating more the situation when you are protected by elders. This is called Shri Yoga. Okay, the elders are having some good impact on you, especially if the Lagna Lord is joined. Like I have Rahu, which is 9th Lord in the Lagna. Okay, and it means that foreign teacher has blessed me. 9th Lord in the Lagna. Also, father could bless me. Okay. This Rahu is in 0 Digbala, so there could be some problems with that guidance of elders, but definitely it is there. The Rahu is exalted in my case, in Lagna, so it's bringing the good thing about it, okay? It can bring the worldly things, foreigners, research, and all that good things Rahu has. Okay, but it has also 0 Digbala, so also some problem can be from elders, right? So the mantra is needed to overcome that. Okay. So now we will go to, I want to show you a few examples. And which will be very important to understand how these planets are working. Okay, so that is that guy. That is that guy. I hope you can see the chart clearly. And also you can see the his picture and the description. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So in this chart, because one question, I think it was 2 or 3, was about the importance of Navamsha, how Navamsha is important. Okay. And I see in this chart is a very good example, because the Rashi is quite Okay, there is some Mercury, Ketu, Mars, Jupiter, Rahu, Saturn, many planets, first of all. Here you have Moon, here you have Venus. So how we can get some something from this, how we can understand what's going really on, is that first of all, we can see the Karaka, then we can see the Aruda, and then we can see the Navamsha. So this is what I want to present in that slide, okay? That we try to approach this from the perspective of these 3 points, okay? So what I want to show you is that, first of all, you must understand that the Moon and Venus are showing entertainment, okay? Especially Venus. Here is the Aruda Lagna. Aruda Lagna basically shows in which sector you are working. And this is very, very important. This is very important because this guy is very good example, because you see, he is like a warrior, right? He is like a warrior, but he really is doing what he's doing for people enjoyment. He is like really like a puppet, we could say, right? I mean, can be derogatory name for that, but you know what I mean. It's like a slave of other people's fun. If there would be no people wanted to watching him, then he would be unemployed, basically, right? He's not like a soldier fighting in for his country, or fighting for some revolution, or for some cause, animal rights or human rights, or on the war, right? He is not, or at least a boxer who is fighting for the sake of a victory, technical victory of fighting. Here is also a technical victory. There are also you can also fight, but the sole thing is enjoyment of others, entertainment. So that is the 10th from Moon here. You see, 10th from Moon is the Lagna, so it means that the fame is also very important in his work, right? So if the Moon is in the 4th, then the Lagna, the ascendant, yourself, is very important in your work. It means also that you yourself are helping yourself in the work. So there are no other people to help you, especially if Moon is in 12. That is the situation. If Moon is in 12, then it is often that no one is helping you. You are only helping yourself. This is because 2nd from Moon is Lagna ascendant. Because 2nd from Moon shows people who are trying to help you in your work. So we have that situation that the Aruda Lagna is with Venus, and that is showing the thing that he's working in the entertainment, right? Now, what I wanted to show here is the power of Navamsha, of power of Vedic astrology, of Jyotisha. This is incredible, because by the Navamsha, you can see, okay, first of all, we have Mercury and Mars, and that is the yoga for sports. And this is in 10th Lord, which is showing the wealth, source of income. This is here, the Mercury is loading that, and this is here. So this is fantastic, because now I know that this is chart of a person who can earn and have a skills. So he's earning, the 10th Lord and the 5th, he's earning from his skills, because the 5th, 9th, and 1st are showing your skill set in Navamsha. So we have a guy who is earning from his skills, and the skills is Mars, Mercury. Mercury shows normally, it can show writing, medical thing, and also a sportsman, especially with Mars. This yoga, Mercury, Mars can give also sometimes industrialist, a corporate worker, especially in the technical field, but also very big impact on the sport. Look at this guy. He looks like Mars, right? So very martial. Also, the 5th in Navamsha will show how you look like. So here we have a person who look like Mars, right? So we have that situation. So this is how the Navamsha has helped us very much to understand what's going on. And I've written here that this is now, we're going back to Rashi chart, to the main chart. This is showing here 10 from Lagna, his fighting career style, because the Rashi is showing, Rashi is like artistic paint of your life, okay? How your, this is my understanding, okay? It's not coming from tradition. This is how I understand the Rashi. This is that the Rashi is showing more how how the metaphysics of karma is playing with you and how you play with it. It's like life. For example, he has that Mercury and Mars here in 8th house. So for him, the work may be like a transformation, okay? It can be more like something occult. It can be something like 8th house also can mean that he may have some accidents, some health issues with that, right? It is the curse of Mercury, so it's very bad. It shows that he may have some real problems, money issues or health issues related to his work. And Mars is also here in the 2nd house, which shows wealth and people, family. So it's problem to create family. Also, 2nd house may show working in a team, right? So if you read the Wikipedia of that guy, he was always in some kind of team. They are forming some teams, right? So this is the 2nd house. It shows how you work. So the Rashi is the answer to how, okay? Therefore, it's very artistic. But without Navamsha, without Dashamsa, you see in the Dashamsa is the chart which shows your career life. In that Dashamsa, he also have Mars and Mercury in the Lagna. So his prestige, the Lagna shows the prestige in the career life is of that Mars and Mercury, right? And Saturn is in 10. The Saturn shows muscles, okay? Here you will see also Saturn in the Lagna, in the Navamsha. So the yoga, Saturn and Mars is the Yama yoga, the power of fight. And here in the Shamsa, we have Saturn in 10th, which is also related to using the muscles. And in what is important, this is in Venusian sign, Venus. So he is using that muscle in entertainment, Venus. And Venus is in 7. 7 is a war, okay? War, fight, real fight. And that is all in the Shamsa chart, in the career life chart. And this is also in Navamsha. So without Navamsha and without the Shamsa, it is very hard to understand what's going on, only with Rashi chart. This is what I wanted to show you on that example, okay? Very hard. I mean, what it means. 10th Lord in the 2nd house with Jupiter, that could be 2nd house. 10th Lord, someone would say in 2nd house, you are a banker, right? Jupiter is bank. 2nd house has to do with money, so you are working in the banks. So this is how the Western astrology, they only have this Rasi chart, and they are analyzing like that. And it's very, it's horrible. It's very hard, but it will always show something. It will show psychological how you are approaching the work. Therefore, the 10th Lord from Rashi, it shows how you work. Okay, how you work. So 10th Lord in the 2nd house work means that you work in groups, but you can work in groups in every sector, right? So without Aruda Lagna, you don't know in which sector you are working. Now we know, okay, it's Venus, so it's entertainment, okay? So this is what I wanted to show you with that chart. Next chart, we have 3 examples. Next chart is here of Sofia Butela. Okay, Sofia Butela. Yeah, so here we have a situation like the Mercury and Venus, Mercury and Sun, they are in the Lagna, okay? And here what I wanted to show you, the Venus and Mercury in the Navamsha Lagna, right? Is it? Yes. So Venus and Mercury are giving the artist. This is the yoga for artism, Venus and Mercury, okay? And here we also see that in the Dashamsa, we have Jupiter and Mercury in the Lagna and Venus in the 2nd. So the jobs in Dashamsa are in 2nd, 6th, and 10 houses, okay? So now with Dashamsa, you can straight away say, okay, Jupiter and Mercury, the person is very talented because this yoga, Jupiter and Mercury shows talents. And Venus is in 2nd. Okay, so she is working in artism, Venus. Okay, of course, she could also work in other Venusian jobs, like manager is also Venus. Okay, any form of art is also Venus, but at least with that Dashamsa, we have that. And with Navamsha, we have that Venus and Mercury in the Rashi, which shows that her skills are that of artist. And also in this example, I wanted to show you how work the periods, okay, planetary periods. And here we see that there is Jupiter. I mean, here I've written the dasha. For example, she in Mercury moon she moved from Algeria to Paris. Algeria to Paris. This is because the moon is an own sign, so it will work like a Venus, okay? And Venus is in 12th house of foreign travels. So in Mercury moon, she moved. Now she had a breakthrough in Ketu Mercury. So see, Mercury is very important because Mercury is in the Navamsha Lagna and in the Samsha Lagna, okay? This is in the 7th Lord, which shows competition. So she needs to compete because 7th Lord in Rashi also shows competing with someone, okay? So she basically won some contest in that time. And because it's very well placed, 5th Lord in the Shamsa, it shows like getting a new job or getting some recognition. Lagna is fame. And then she had a relationship in Mars Dasha. This is very nice example. I told you how to time a marriage. See the 12th house. So 12th house, we have here Saturn with Mars, right? So Venus, Saturn, or Mars can give relationships. This is how it starts. When the relationship will start, it will have something to do with the 12th house. And in the Navamshana, we can get more accuracy. Mars is in 7th house, okay? I mean, it's lording 7th house, sorry. Mars is lording 7th house. And therefore, Mars is 12th or lording 7th house, so the relationship was there. And the breakthrough, I mean, the relationship broke in the Jupiter Dasha, you see? Jupiter is in the 8th house of divorce in the Rasi chart. And here in the Navamsha, it's loading 6th house of separation. So 6 and 8. So they broken. So it's very, if you have that Dasha of planets, it's very easy to predict what's going on. Especially if you are using also another Dasha, then it is very handy then to use. Okay. The last example would be of, yeah. That was 2 examples. Sorry. Great. We have still good time. So that was the questions. Here were many questions. For example, I want to talk a little bit about them, so you will not feel that I ignored you. I was reading all that, and here we have that. How many marriages the person may have. This is very nicely can be answered by basically seeing the power of 2nd house from Upapada. If 2nd house from Upapada is weak, then it means that the next marriage will be there, right? If that would be strong, then that is the last marriage. Okay. Then we have career of native. 10th Lord of D1 or D10. I think I wanted to show you on those examples what is the difference between Rasi and Navamsha. So I would say that the career life is read by many points, okay? And only when you collect all of them, they will form some kind of image, okay? But if you want just one point, then go straight to the Shamsa, I would say. Go to chart of career life. But the problem is that will only show what you are exactly doing. For example, you may have politicians who will have Jupiter in 10th house in the Shamsa, okay? There will be some connection maybe to Moon or Sun or Rahu, but that means that what they are doing there, they are guiding, they are teaching something. So the Shamsa is showing what you are exactly doing, what is your exact responsibility. Okay, best career path is always using the Navamsha because Navamsha is showing what is fortunate for you, okay? You may see in the Rasi chart what you can do with your hands because it's not always, this is the misfortune, that it's not always able that you can do something which is lucky for you. Also, you have to check the Shamsa if these jobs will be presented by the world to you because the Shamsa shows what is presented by the world to you, right? The Navamsha shows then if you will get money from it, and Rashi shows if you can put hands on this, right? So this is how you can connect that. Is everything pre-planned? I would say that the big frame of what's going on is pre-planned, and they say that 33% of our life is free will. So we have 33 maximum free will if we are working in sattvic level, okay? If we are more like tamasic, if you are addicted to something like to drugs or to television, to sex life, or to a phone, or to anything, friends, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, then your free will is going down, okay? So, but if you are analyzing the chart, if you are seeing charts, then you see that it's really pre-planned. What married life? The Upapada is showing your married life. So you need to learn how to analyze Upapada. Upapada is very great to show the married life. Remedies for success in exams. The 10th house is ruling that. So any connections to the 10th house, if there is affliction or good planets, then you can use that. The purpose of life. This is very big and broad. Many lectures can come from that. So I would not answer that clearly, but you can see something like Atmakaraka will definitely show what is important for you. You can see that in Rasi and Navamsha, okay? That will show what aspects of your life are always on the fore. What is important, okay? The romantic compatibility. This is basically, I would say that the Lagna lords, if they are well placed, the Lagna and Lagna lords, then it means it's big thing, okay? If you have that, then it's like 70% is like Pareto rule. You need to have 80% of something to get the thing. So it's like Pareto rule in Sambandha, the Lagna Lord Sambandha, okay? If they have good relationship with each other, it's perfect, okay? Then 7 lords are important because you may go in different paths. So 7 lords need to be in the same mobility of signs, they say. Then the moon connection, it shows how the family is supporting you, okay? Then you may use other things like, also there is a difference when we talk about compatibility between if you are compatible with someone, and also if you are destined to be with someone, because you may be compatible with someone but you are not destined to be married. So this can also be seen in the chart. For example, you can analyze the Upapada and see if the ascendant of the partner is matching the Upapada of yours. And Mars and Saturn, Vakri remedy. So Mars and Saturn, this yoga is Yama yoga, but if Mars is connected to 10th or 11th, you can use various Rudra mantras. And for Saturn, you can use Narayan, okay? So this is how you are dealing with these planets. So thank you very much. That was everything from my side. If you liked something, please, you can send me some donations, like even €5 is okay. It brings me some something, the exchange of energy. And if you have any comments, any tips, how can I do better? What was good? What can I improve? Then also you can write me on Instagram or here on email. And I think that that would be it from my side. We have 1 hour and 24 minutes. So I think that's the big thing. Okay, so the PayPal mail is, I will send you, that is the link. Yeah. 1 second. I have to, everyone. Okay. Yeah. So that would be it. If you have any questions, quick questions, I can unmute you, or you can unmute yourself maybe, or you can write. If not, then I will gladly conclude this meeting, this webinar, Corona party. Yeah, these Ayana Avashtas are a bit difficult now. These are a complicated topic. Thank you, Angelina, very much. Rahu in Lagna and Mercurial sign. You can do many things for that, for Rahu in Lagna. There are planets which are related to Astra of Vishnu for 0 Digbala. You can also use a mantra for Durga, like Namaschandikayai. I was taught to remedy. So basically Durga mantras you can do. Rahu is also exalted, so it shows Vishnu avatar. But if it's 0 Digbala, you can use other avatar astras, right? So that would be the thing. But for Rahu exalted, if that would be in other position, you could always use something else. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I will conclude here. I hope you enjoyed that lecture. I will let you know about the next session. Maybe it's possible to have that regular on the donation base, like every week. If you like that, let me know. And I also, as I said, I will be providing the beginner and intermediate courses for you. So if you also have interest in any course related to astrology, just write me an email and tell me on which level you think you are, beginner or medium, or then we can make a group and we can continue for the course. So all details will be then sent to mail. Thank you very much, and thank you for supporting me on Instagram, and see you next time.